The domed city of Calvatrix on the planet Midol was sparkling under 1,000,000 synthetic stars, laid out for the annual summit of the Intergalactic Trillionaires Club. Shields shimmered over coral-tinted towers as the galaxy's wealthiest beings, humanoid and otherwise, strode onto platinum carpets, their entourages trailing behind like silk ribbons. On the lowest rung of this infinite hierarchy, Gopi was gliding from table to table, cradling a tray of vortiscan fizz and pretending to be invisible. On this particular evening, invisibility was a survival skill. Because Gopi was not in fact just a quick-footed server, she was Princess Lana, crown regent of Midol and a green reptilian on a mission. Her usual jeweled scales had been muted with ochre makeup, and her accent erased through hours of torturous tongue twisters. Slinking between clusters of diplomats and supernovan CEOs, Gopi listened. She memorized passcodes for off-planet vaults and the secret ingredients to Aphrodisian moon whiskey. But her quarry was singular, Elon Musk. He was not difficult to identify. He stood in the spotlight, the holographic image of bravado, with an entourage of synthetic falcons and quantum lawyers. The judges, a trio of beings whose outer shells rotated like Rubik's cubes, hovered by the largest table. Rumor said Elon had slipped them enough galactic credits to buy and terraform Pluto, and that was why he had made tonight's cut. A hush swept the room as a hollow message flickered above the main table. Elon's face, grinning, pixel perfect. He addressed the judges with a confident shrug.
As I've already mentioned, I'm doing the universe a favor. Trump, obsolete. U.S. Treasury, practically under my pillow. If I'm not a trillionaire the moment this evening ends, well, the time circuits must be broken.
A ripple of nervous laughter spun around the room. Gopi swept by Elon's table, dipping to shine his complex, self-lacing shoes. She stayed within earshot, noting every word, every coded glance to the judges. Her hand strayed to the inside pocket of her apron, brushing against the Jedi mind leeches she'd smuggled inside an ordinary jar of pickled hyperspace onions. Yoda, yes, Master Yoda himself, presided over the judges this year. He perched upon a floating lotus, eyes half closed, ears twitching as secrets and schemes danced on the air. With a dry twinkle in his voice, Yoda intoned,
"Greed eternal this gathering, memorable it shall be. Never before such dreams of numbers seen have I."
Suddenly, the Stargate whirred to life at the ceremonial entrance. Glistening coils, blue as Neptune's veins, revealed a shimmering portal. Elon Musk stepped through, boots hitting the floor with theatrical precision, wearing a smile of absolute confidence, as if he were about to announce his own coronation. Gopi intercepted him with a bright, practiced smile.
Mr. Musk, would you care to give your autograph for my little sister on Fruitaspore? She collects mines, signatures.
Distractedly, Elon reached for the pen Gopi offered. It gleamed with the unmistakable minimalism of Jedi hardware. He signed, and as he pressed the button, what felt like a puff of compressed air ejected from the stylus. Within seconds, the Jedi mind leeches, clear as starlight, yet packed with telepathic enzymes, launched onto his skin, invisible to all but those prepared to see. For Elon, who had expected only intergalactic sycophancy, the sensation was barely more surprising than his postprandial ketamine haze. At first, and then, lightning-quick, images flooded his mind. Schematics, bribes, the secret backdoor to the Treasury's AI. In his eyes, shadows shifted, gears whirred.
Clouded the path of justice becomes, yet truth revealed is always. See his mind, the leeches do, see his games we must also.
Gopi, her tail twitching beneath her apron, watched the mind leech's pulse and confirmed what she suspected. Every memory, every underhanded plan beamed straight into her palm-sized decoder pad. The evidence was indisputable. She snapped her claws in triumph, a sound like rain on crystal. Two Midolian guards, 9 feet tall, bronze-plated, and anything but ceremonial, advanced on Elon and the judges. They loomed, eyes unblinking, as nebulae. "Contestant Musk," they droned as one, "you are sentenced to 1 rotation of hard labor. Midolian estrogen farms await." A hush seized the room. Yoda drew in a deep breath and then spoke softly, the words curling into the rafters like incense.
Balance restored when justice found. Hard lessons the greedy must learn. Remember this night, I will.
Elon was led through a side exit, his protests echoing off marble. Outside, the moons of Midol hung low, and the air thrummed with the sound of tractor drones. Down in the fields, rows upon rows of spiky biosyn pods glowed. The estrogen farms stretched for miles, harvesting hormone-rich spores vital to the core systems, requiring constant, tedious mining. It was dirty, exhausting, profoundly unglamorous labor, a fitting fate. Back in the hall, Gopi finally dropped her disguise, nodding to Yoda. The night's work was done. And as the Intergalactic Trillionaires Club dissolved into anxious whispers, Yoda rose to address them, gravely.
Watchful must power and fortune always be. Last deception never is. Let tonight be lesson to all present and all to come.
High above, the artificial stars of Calvatrix shimmered brighter than ever, shining down on a galaxy a little wiser and a little less corrupt than it had been an hour before. The estrogen farms of Midol were a place where fortunes were forgotten and arrogance was ground into dust. Here, among the endless rows, the former titan of industry learned the true cost of his hubris. A lesson etched not in credits, but in sweat and sorrow. Back in her rightful place, Princess Lana looked out over Calvatrix. The summit was over, justice served. Midol was safer, the galaxy a little more honest. Her mission was complete. And as a new day dawned over the planet, its future felt a little brighter.
A shadow lifted from this world it has. But always vigilance, the price of peace is, yes.
And with the wisdom of ages, the galaxy listened, if only for a moment, hoping to learn. The Grand Hall, once teeming with power and ambition, now stood silent. The gateway to intergalactic fanfare, now a quiet monument to a night of reckoning. The scales of justice on Midol, once tipped by corruption, were finding their balance. For the judges who had bartered integrity for an oligarch's favor, their own reckoning was swift and certain. Their sentences, though less dramatic than the spectacle at the estrogen farms, were a firm whisper across the galaxy. Accountability had come to Midol. The lessons of Calvatrix rippled outwards, a quiet promise that even in the darkest corners of the galaxy, the stars of justice could and would shine anew.
So a page turns. Remember always.
The events on Midol sent shockwaves through the opulent halls of the Intergalactic Trillionaires Club. No longer a playground for unchecked avarice, subsequent summits saw a marked change. Whispers of backroom deals were replaced by earnest discussions on ethical investments and philanthropic endeavors. Lavish displays of wealth gave way to a more restrained, thoughtful assembly. The lesson of Calvatrix, it seemed, had been learned, for now.
Always.
Days bled into weeks on the Medolian estrogen farms. For Elon, once a master of technological empires, life had been reduced to the primal rhythm of spore and soil. No holographic accolades here, no quantum lawyers. Only the unyielding earth of Midol, and the silent judgment of the cosmos he once so brazenly claimed to conquer.
Odd lessons the greedy must learn. Watchful, the universe must remain. Seeds of greed they linger. Forever vigilant.